So you're asking me why Shark Tank is not good for most entrepreneurs. I watch every episode of Shark Tank. It is great. So I actually think it's good for an entrepreneur to watch these wild and crazy entrepreneurs and what they do. But if you look at the statistics, which is something like 93% of all entrepreneurs build their businesses and are successful without raising outside funds. And so what you're looking at with Shark Tank are 100% of the entrepreneurs raising outside funds. And it's not true if you're looking at it in that microcosm. So it's great for an entrepreneur that's looking to seek funds and if they're in the 7%. But what I work with in my life, in my experience, is I'm helping entrepreneurs in the making build amazing 10 to 250 person privately held companies that are regular everyday businesses, and they typically are not seeking outside funds. And so hopefully that point makes sense, because then the other story I would share is I was mentoring a woman who built her business to somewhere between $1 million and $2 million and was on a nice growth trajectory. And investors came a-calling. Two particular people reached out to her and wanted to invest. And when they reached out to her to invest, her response was yes in terms of her mind. And she's thinking, wow, what a compliment. And yes, I'm going to take this investment. And so she called me and told me this is what she's going to do. And I said, why are you doing that? Do you need outside funds? And she said, no. I said, well, why on earth are you doing this? And she's thinking, well, because maybe they have some ideas, some mind share, some whatever. And again, I think this is what Shark Tank leads people to think, that when investors come a-calling, that's a good thing. But long story short, once we had the conversation, and it was literally a 12-minute conversation, she said, why on earth would I give up some percentage of my company? I don't need an investor. I don't need their ideas. I've got it. So that's what's scary, is it just, I think it can taint thinking when 93% don't need that outside money.